Ladies and gentlemen,
Presenting
Rolling.
It's Thanksgiving Eve. Don't sleep. My man Roland Martin is here. How are you this morning, Roll?
I'm doing great here in Houston, in H-Town, with the family. And I tell you, man, it's so crazy. You know, the Turkey Leg Hut is a hugely popular restaurant here. And you got these colonizers, now gentrifiers, who are moving to the neighborhood trying to shut the black folks down. They actually filed an injunction. First of all, they got an order against them, but then all of a sudden, an email was discovered where these folks were trying to say, no, we want them to get off our corn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, ain't that something? They in the historic black neighborhood,
Right?
but we want them off our corner, and
Whoa.
they are actually duking it out.
Who
real?
said that?
It's the neighbors.
Who said that? The
No,
Gentiles?
the neighbors.
The Gentiles?
So folks, just sitting here, but that's how it is. It's happening all across the country, and so those are the things that's facing here. So I talked about it in my show, Roland Martin Unfiltered. So we gonna keep that pressure on them. But we gonna because see, I got a copy of the email. I'm gonna send all of them a pre-Thanksgiving email and see if they want to go on the record and comment.
Wow.
Oh, you know how I'm doing.
That's good.
That'd be
That's
tough.
good.
Come on,
Yeah.
Roland. Roland, this is what you do. You have everybody that's black in the neighborhood cook chitlins and with the windows open, and fill the neighborhood with chitlins.
Oh, yeah.
Chitlins
Had to get them out.
If they do that, I'm moving. I can't stand chitlins. All right, y'all. I keep trying to warn black people that you have to understand what is happening with the Republican Party is all about the court system, the federal bench. Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, is on social media, on Twitter, bragging about 1 in 4 every appeals court position has been appointed thus far by Donald Trump. They screwed President Obama by holding open a lot of these seats for this day. Joining me right now is Kristen Clark. She's the president, executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under Law. And Kristen, I keep telling people, Republicans make elections out about the courts. Democrats really don't. We're seeing this. It is by design. They want to pack the federal bench with all of these young 35 to 40 right-wing judges because they want to control the federal bench for the next 50 years.
That's right, Roland. And right now we see President Trump using the courts to resist complying with subpoenas, to block the testimony of former White House officials who voluntarily want to give, their testimony to Congress during the impeachment process. I mean, he is using the courts as a weapon. And it's really important that we understand that this is a civil rights issue. There are so many issues that impact the lives of black people and vulnerable communities all across the country that get resolved in the courts, from voting rights and criminal justice issues. You were just talking about gentrification. You've got fair housing cases moving through the courts. We are fighting to save affirmative action in 2 big cases that are moving through the courts now, death penalty cases. So it's important for African Americans to understand that this issue is front and center for us. Elections do have consequences. One of the most dangerous and horrendous nominees that we just saw confirmed through the Senate was Stephen Menashe. Stephen Menashe is somebody who defended, quote, a ghetto party held on his campus when he attended college. He said it was no big deal. He is somebody who worked alongside white supremacist Stephen Miller at the White House. He is somebody who worked with Betsy DeVos and masterminded an illegal scheme to use private Social Security numbers to deny relief for students in debt who were seeking relief. And the thing that is most horrendous about him is that he was nominated for Thurgood Marshall's old seat on the Second Circuit. And he is now there for life. And just as you note, Roland, most of these nominees are young. They are white. They are male. They do not reflect America. And ideologically, they are radical. And they are there to do harm to black people and to vulnerable communities across our country. So we have to speak up about this. McConnell has now put for life. 2 people, McConnell, alongside Trump, 2 people to the Supreme Court, 46 people to the Federal Circuit, and 112 judges on the district court. And I just want to make clear how unusual this pace is. In less than 3 years, we've now seen 46 judges onto the federal appeals courts. 46. In 8 years, Obama got a total of 55. This is not normal.
And again, they are bragging about it. And so when people go to the voting booth, when you vote for president, understand that's what you're voting for. And so people say, that's really not a big deal. But and when you talk about Trump appointed them, let's just be honest. He has basically handed the federal bench to the white conservative evangelicals, the Fairless Society. They're picking these judges. When he said, I don't know these people, frankly, I believe him. This is all by design. And for people to understand how I keep framing this, Christian, in 24 years, we're going to be a nation majority people of color. If this young person serves 50 years at 35, they're going to serve an extra 26 years beyond the point where we become a nation majority people of color.
That's right. My son is 15 years old, and I tell him that he will be 50 years old talking about some of the damage that these judges are doing from the bench. So it's really time for us to make this a priority issue. It's time to understand that we've got 342 days left until the November 2020 election, and this issue has to be front and center. It is one that has enormous consequences for Black people across our country.
Keep doing the fight, Christian Clark, Lawrence Pitt, Pacific Rights Fund Law. What's the website where you can give?
Well, one thing that I really want people to do is to plug in our election protection number into their phones right now. 866 Our Vote is the number to election protection, the nation's largest nonpartisan voter protection program in the country. We want to make sure that our votes count this election season. And then hit up our website, www.lawyerscommittee.org, and make a donation to help us continue the fight today.
Christian Clark, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
All right, folks.
All right, thank you guys. Roland, I'll let you next time around, man. Thank you much, bro.
Holiday.
Take care. Peace
Happy
out.
Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.